Shalom, Israel. It's your brother JD Niger. I'm back with another message. You know, I gotta chime in on this this Cuba thing. You know, those are our brothers over in Cuba. Those are the Manassites, and you can tell that the islands. You know, the Lord said He's going to punish His people first. That's what Jacob's trouble is all about. Oh, still okay, brothers. So, you know, the confusion that goes on in Babylon the Great, the crap that they talk all the time, like the first sentence, it says Biden backs protesters in Cuba. While praising the uprising, U.S. officials deflect criticism for a lag in policy changes. Just about everything that's going on in this plane, this earth, is caused by Esau Edom. So, the Jamaican president gets assassinated. They're building up missiles to shoot at us in Russia. They're building missiles to shoot at us in China. The immigrants from this is just my opinion. YouTube. I'm not a news commentator. I'm just throwing out what JD Niger, Jeff Deloach thinks. All right? I could be wrong. Could be. I crack myself up. Esau Edom's caused all this shit. That's why we're seeing all this, is because it's time for his shit to fall, and he's going to play both sides all the way to the end. The first, paragraph. This is Washington. U.S. officials Monday pledged to stand firmly with Cubans who have unleashed a rare, robust wave of protest and called on the Havana government to refrain from violent crackdowns, even as authorities there shut down the internet and deployed counter demonstrators into the street. Whether they deployed counter demonstrators or not, I'm sure there's people that love their government. I mean, you have to. That's why Babylon the Great is so strong, is because we believe we believe it. We believe that we're great. We believe we're great. That's why the ruse is so good. It's falling apart even here. People are realizing we're not that great. But the Cuban people are beautiful people, and for this to be happening, it's like they've been. If you don't know it, the U.S. has been demonizing Cuba since I was born. I mean, the missile crisis, so on and so forth. Nothing's going on in Cuba that's hurting the U.S. There's nothing going on in Cuba that's hurting the U.S. Let me say that again. There's nothing going on in Cuba ever that has hurt the U.S. It was all quack, 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 quack. Fucking quacking. That's what Esau Edom does. Quack, 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 quack. It's a fucking duck. Walks like a duck, talks like a duck, shits like a duck. It's a duck. So the bottom line is, I'm gonna try and stop circling the the room and then land somewhere for a minute and try and make a point. I'm gonna start trying to get down to the brass tacks of it. The Lord loves those people. The Lord loves the Jamaicans. The Lord loves the American Indians. The Lord loves the Panamanians. The Lord loves the Chileans. So-called. Those aren't who they are. And you know who the Lord hates? The Lord hates the Edomites. Hates them. Hates them with a righteous hatred. He hates them. So as this stuff keeps popping off, I don't have any fear for what anyone's going to do to the Cubans, to the Manassites. The Manassites got to look out for themselves. And you know what? If Russia, the U.S., whoever else is putting their grimy little hands in there, and now they're saying in Jamaica, the Colombians, and what? It's all a bunch of lies. From what I can tell, Esau Edom is through the hand of the Lord, through the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is stirring stuff up. And either you're going to stand for the Lord's people in a real way, they're going to stand firmly with the people that are fighting. The people in Colombia are fighting against their government, and the U.S. is going to stand firmly with them. Let the Cubans deal with their own shit. Leave them alone. Send them some food. Get their bananas. Get their music. They have more to give than we do. They have more to give than we do. They haven't been completely bugged out by Esau Edom's bullshit like we have here in Babylon the Great. The reason Babylon the Great is so great is because we're completely bugged out, completely lost in the sauce, sipping on Babylon juice morning, noon, and night. And this is what they do. They push these stories that Cuba's communist government needs to be overthrown. You know what communism really is? It's worldly people trying to mimic the Israelites. The tabernacle was one big communist fucking manifesto, man. They were a bunch of people that worked together, lived together, loved together, fought together, died together. Communism isn't the problem. It's man ruling over another man in an unrighteous manner. They haven't killed the Cuban spirit. They haven't killed the so-called Cuban spirit. They haven't killed the Jamaican, so-called Jamaican spirit. Those Benjamites over there, have they killed the so-called Costa Rican spirit? Have they killed? Well, they have almost killed the Salvadorian spirit. They have really done a number on those. I think it's the Asherites down there. But anyway, I just wanted to chime in on that. It's not what they say it is. I'm gonna add a little extra, Lord willing, about the Manassites. So something about Benjamin and Manasseh. We understand each other. We might not always like each other, but we understand each other and we respect each other. When I was in school, I was in 9th or 10th grade. I mean, long time ago, many moons ago. I took welding. I took welding. I didn't like welding. I don't even like fire. For some reason, I took welding. I thought, yeah, maybe I'll become a welder. I thought I was going to be a manly man, right? So there was a brother in my class. He was a Manassite. His name was David Cienfuegos. David Cienfuegos. And they it's pretty funny. So they bought the house right before the shopping area, the what do you call it? Shopping center. They bought the house right before the shopping center, right on the corner, right as everyone has to go by their house. It's right on the corner, right? And they painted their house this Manassite yellow. If you know what I'm talking about, the Issachar does the same thing. They love these bright, obnoxious colors. And now that I look back, it's just obnoxious because Esau Edom is so fucking boring. He doesn't have no sauce at all, no salt. It's a fucking, their dishes are bland, their art's bland, their brains are bland. Everything about Esau Edom is bland. Look that word up, bland. It has no flavor. It has no juice. It has no sauce. So David Cienfuegos, he was a Manassite. He's a so-called Cuban, right? David Cienfuegos. He did all my welds for me. Yeah, I think I got an A. He was the Manassite was the best welder in the class. Little guy. We weren't friends, but we were brothers, and he did all my welds for me. He got me through the class, but I didn't take welding after that. But anyway, that's one story of Manassites. The other story is when I worked over here at the Seacliff Country Club. I worked with a bunch of Issachar and some Asher and some Zebulon. They're so-called Mexicans and South Americans, right? And the one guy was a Manassite. His name was Joe. What was his last name? Anyway, super nice guy, and looking back on it now that I know who's who and what's what, I realized that we had a connection just Kind of like me and David Cienfuegos. God, what was his last name? Full on Israelite, both of them, for sure. For sure. Because they were men, and they were men under men. They were born from the seed of other Manassites, right? So, yeah, me and Joe got along, but that's my Manassite story, is that I love those people. I love those people almost more than my own people, for some reason. I can relate. I can relate to the flavor of the Manassite, for sure. They have the best food. They have the most beautiful women. They have the most hardworking. They're honest people. They're strong people. They're family people. That's my message for today on the islands. The islands. I'll do a message on the islands. So it's in the Bible. But anyway, that's all I got for today. On I'll probably do another message. I obey. Apostle Tahar said, put a message a day out. It's not that hard. Maybe it's hard for some of these guys. I don't know. I have a lot to say. I don't even have time to say it all. I could talk about the Bible and about my people all day long. All my people. Not just other ninjas. Not just other Judites. Judah and Benjamin are my people. But are they the most interesting? Not to me. I know my people. My people are bugged out. And so are some of it. So is Issachar. But you know what? These people that haven't been tainted by Babylon, when I went to Costa Rica, those people are so sweet, so quiet. Issachar, when you go into their land, when you apprehend Issachar in his own land, in his own native land, I almost moved there. If Esau Edom wouldn't have been causing so much shit there in the last 10, 15 years, I probably would have ended up there. I don't want to go there now. It's like here, but more dangerous. At least here you have a relative amount of safety. Down there, the misadventure could befall you. But anyhow, the native people in their own native habitat, the Chileans, I'm sure. My buddy's Naftali. He's Argentina. Really cool people. Israelites are cool people. They're good folks. They're just ruined here in Babylon the Great from sipping on that Babylon juice. But that's all I got today, Israel. I hope somehow my messages can start getting out somehow. Maybe if I'm softer and I talk more loving to you and coddle you a little bit, if I need to coddle you for a while to get you to promote me to our people, believe me, I'll tell you this before I check out. You take care of a prophet and you'll get a prophet's reward. So think about that when you think about spreading the word that Israel's going to come back. There's no shame in it. You might get you might get martyred, but you'll get martyred for the right reason. And then when you come into kingdom, you're going to be like, damn, I'm so glad that I wasn't afraid of men. I'm so glad I was afraid of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's all I got today. Be good, Israel. That's your brother, JD Nijah. Till the next one.